Hi everyone, welcome back to the History of Football channel. Today I'm going to be doing another video about a defunct football club. I recently did a poll on the channel asking what video you would like me to do next, and the winning vote was another defunct football club. So today I will be talking about Accrington Football Club, the original Accrington Football Club, not to be confused with the later Accrington Stanley. Accrington Football Club were founded in 1878. When they played their first ever game is unknown, however, reports at the time suggest that they were founded in a local public house. In the early days of the club's history, they were seen as a bit of a rebellious club, and they were part of the revolt against the Football Association in 1884 over professionalism. They were in fact expelled from the FA the previous year for paying a player, which back then was a big no-no. However, just 4 years later, Accrington Football Club would be in the history books forever, when they were one of the original 12 teams that formed the Football League on the 17th of April 1888. In the very first Football League season, Accrington Football Club finished a respectable 7th place on the table out of the 12 teams. The first Football League would be won by Preston North End, who finished a clear 11 points ahead of second place Aston Villa. The following season, Accrington recorded their highest ever league finish of 6th place, only 8 points behind champions Preston North End. The club would slowly decline over the next 3 seasons. In the 1890-91 season they finished 10th, this was followed by an 11th place finish and then a 15th place finished in the first division. Due to the rules at the time, Accrington were made to play in what they called back then a test match, which is now, you would say, more of a playoff relegation game against second division Sheffield United at Trent Bridge. Accrington would then lose the match 1-0 and were relegated to the second division. However, instead of playing in the second division, the club resigned from the league altogether. Accrington would become the first founding Football League member to leave the league permanently. Stoke had failed re-election in 1890 but rejoined the league a year later. After leaving the Football League, Accrington would join the Lancashire League. After finishing 4th in the Lancashire League, Accrington unsuccessfully applied for re-election to the Football League. Shortly afterwards, Accrington would suffer a lot of financial problems. The following season in the Lancashire League, the club would slide back down the table, finishing 12th. Accrington's final season would be in the Lancashire Combination, and the financial pressures were just too great for the club, with their final ever match being on the 14th of January 1896, where they were defeated 12-0 against Darwin in the Lancashire Senior Cup match. Overall, Accrington Football Club were not very successful. They played 123 league matches in their history, winning only 35 of those, drawing 33 and losing 55. Their record in the FA Cup was also poor, with the club only reaching the 3rd round on one occasion. Every other season that they competed in the FA Cup, they would either be knocked out in the 1st or 2nd round. Accrington's home ground throughout their entire history were Thorneyholme Road, which still exists to this day, and it's been the home of Accrington Cricket Club since 1878, and it mainly hosts cricket. I believe it stopped hosting football quite a while ago, but there's a picture of it there. I should also add that Accrington's record attendance at the ground was on the 2nd of January 1893 against Blackburn Rovers, where 10,000 people attended the game. Accrington's colours for their home kit were a red shirt with white shorts and red socks with a bit of yellow or gold on them, and their away kit was predominantly yellow or gold with red shorts and white socks. Even though Accrington weren't that successful, 3 players were picked for England while they were at Accrington. George Howarth earned 5 caps, and both Joe Lofthouse and Jimmy Whitehead also earned 1 cap each. Now, around the same time that Accrington Football Club were about, there was another team in the area called Accrington Stanley. They were founded in 1891 and they were members of the Football League between 1921 to 1962. However, they resigned mid-season in 1966. They also played in the Lancashire Combination and they won that twice in 1902, 1903 and 1905, 1906. In 1968 the club were reformed as Accrington Stanley Football Club. They continue to play to this day and they're currently in League 2. And also, of course, in 1989 the club came to national prominence when they were featured in a slogan, Accrington Stanley, who are they? And that was in relation to a Liverpool advert where they were saying if you don't drink your milk you'll end up playing for Accrington Stanley, and one of the children says, Accrington Stanley, who are they? So that concludes my video on Accrington Football Club, who existed for just under 20 years, and I also talked about the other 2 Accrington clubs that followed after them. Of course, there wasn't too much information on the original Accrington Football Club. I mean, it were 130 years ago, so I mean, you try your best with the information that's available, but that was what was on offer, and I hope that you enjoyed this presentation and video of Accrington Football Club. Usually I would ask in most videos, what are your favourite memories of a certain team, or what do you remember of that team, but I guess I can't ask this in this video because you'd have to be at least 150 years old to remember Accrington Football Club. But anyway, thanks everyone that's been tuning in for the videos recently and supporting the channel. It's much appreciated, and I'll catch us all later in the next one. Alright, ta-ra for now.